Over halfway through 2022, Xbox's Game Pass service is having another strong year. From new titles like Nobody Saves the World to legacy juggernauts like Halo, the Master Chief Collection, it's still the easiest way to keep up with gaming without breaking the bank. And the service is always evolving, adding new games each month, with many of the titles available across multiple Xbox consoles and PC through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Microsoft's Bethesda acquisition saw great titles like Skyrim and Fallout 3 come to Game Pass. And many expect similar moves to come for games like Overwatch, Diablo 3, and maybe even World of Warcraft, with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard still churning in the background. Today's video is about the top 10 Xbox Game Pass games that you don't want to miss out. The list is not in any particular order. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. At number 10, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge is already a classic Turtles brawler. If you could have overheard a bunch of kids talking about their dream TMNT game while playing the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet at a local pizza bar in 1989, or Turtles in Time in 1991, this is the Turtles game they'd be imagining. But over 30 years later, Shredder's Revenge implements some features that distinguish it from the days of the coin-operated arcade. There's a world map, side quests, new heroes, experience points, and online matchmaking that help modernize the throwback trappings. Shredder's Revenge manages to balance itself nicely between the world of retro and revamp. With only 16 episodes, it's the perfect Game Pass game to jump into with some pals at a sleepover. At number 9, we have Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed Origins has always been good, but it was only in hindsight, 3 years after its release, that I began to consider it great. It's a phenomenal concoction of historical tourism, sci-fi storytelling, and open-ended combat. It also displays a confidence that the more recent Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla can only partially match. Whereas the two most recent entries embrace the insecure ethos of content that has so defined the last decade of open-world games. Origins is content to leave vast swaths of its world empty and to let things burn slowly in ways both narrative and explorative. Its map unfurls over deserts, mountains, oases, and sun-swept cities slowly being buried in sand, all while its two central figures, Bayek and Aya, navigate one of video games' most compelling romances. It's not completely averse to daily challenges and cosmetic DLC packs. But it's the rare open-world game that trusts my attention span. It understands that pastoral beauty and tragic storytelling, successfully interwoven, are worth more than any number of distractions its successors can throw at me. At number 8, we have Minecraft. Minecraft is a game in which everything looks like it's made out of large, square blocks, and you can harvest materials and use them to build whatever you'd like out of those blocks. There isn't much left to say about Minecraft that hasn't already been said, but the game remains popular online, and it has the ability to keep my children occupied in a way no other game can match, in my experience. They ignore the survival mode and go straight for creative, treating it like a split-screen world in which they can build anything they'd like without worrying about whether they're going to run out of Lego bricks. It's a game that can be meditative when played alone and social when shared with others, and there are mountains of user-created content to sift through and explore. Like the rest of the games on this list, Minecraft is very easy to get into, but you may find it tricky to leave. At number 7, we have Doom. 2016's Doom builds off of one of the oldest franchises in gaming history with speed, acrobatics, and an absolutely killer soundtrack. Doom Guy moves extremely quickly, swapping between a variety of guns, grenades, melee attacks, and a giant chainsaw to blow up demons off of Mars. The game is bloody, metal as hell, and surprisingly funny. Doom makes you feel like a god, capable of clearing any hurdle the game could throw at you, and it doesn't offer a single dull level in its lengthy campaign. At number 6, we have Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is a giant mystery, and the less that's said about it, the better. The gist is that your small solar system ends and restarts every 22 minutes. Your job is to discover why that's happening and put the clues together so you can attempt to stop it. Outer Wilds is a game all about information gathering. There are no experience points or combat, only knowledge. But that knowledge will propel you to bizarre and interesting places. And once you're finally done, you'll wish you could erase it all from your memory and play it again. At number 5, we have The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V, better known as just Skyrim, is a classic. And while you can play it on almost any console or device known to humankind at this point, it's still worth playing on Game Pass if you've never given it a chance or are just craving another journey in its sprawling world. Like most Bethesda RPGs, Skyrim is a first-person game with a giant, living world. There are dungeons to crawl, stories to uncover, and a variety of guilds to join. But you can also go off the beaten path and discover your own fun in Skyrim. It rewards you for being curious. It's the kind of Game Pass game that you can play for hundreds of hours and never get bored. At number 4, we have Forza Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5 is the latest racing game to land on Xbox and Game Pass. It's a visual feast filled with some of the most realistic-looking cars you've ever seen. But anyone who loves any of these Forza games will tell you that the Horizon series is so much more than its graphics. Horizon 5 takes place in a fictionalized Mexico and gives you the freedom to drive around a massive map in whatever car you want. You can drive a nice sports car while off-roading or drive a Hummer off a massive ramp. Forza Horizon 5 gives you the freedom and choice to drive how and where you want inside a legion of incredible cars. At number 3, we have Hitman Trilogy. Hitman, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3 are some of the best sandbox puzzle games ever made. As Agent 47, you will climb buildings, sneak around parties, and murder spies and debutantes with all manner of tools. The trilogy on Game Pass includes the campaigns from all 3 of the games in IO Interactive's recent World of Assassination trilogy, giving you more than a dozen maps to play on. The Hitman series may be about violence and murder, but it manages to stay lighthearted and fun with its wild physics and silly scenarios. It's the perfect series to goof around in if you feel like being stealthy or just want to see what happens when you drop a giant chandelier on a crowd of snobby jerks. At number 2, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is a game that shouldn't work at all. But in a world saturated with Marvel content and already popular versions of these characters, Guardians of the Galaxy manages to tell a heartfelt story that gives each Guardian plenty of space to breathe. As an action game, Guardians of the Galaxy is fun enough, letting you fly through the air on Star-Lord's jet boots and shoot your iconic double pistols. However, just like the story, the game shines most when the team is all working together. As Star-Lord, you can command Drax to stun an enemy, or Rocket to blow up an entire group. Guardians of the Galaxy, and last but not least, Watch Dogs 2 takes the number 1 spot. Watch Dogs 2 isn't just the best installment in Ubisoft's Watch Dogs trilogy, it's one of the best open-world games the studio has put out in years. Watch Dogs 2 takes you to San Francisco and puts you in the shoes of Marcus Holloway, a hacker who works with a hacktivist group. You'll use your drone and RC car to hack things from a distance or sneak around and remote hack objects with your phone. And when things get too dangerous, you can pull out your stun gun or 8-ball on a rope to deal some serious damage. Watch Dogs 2's writing doesn't always do it any favors when it tries to get serious or make a point about the dystopian police state future its characters were dreading living in, but its heroes add enough character to the game that even the idiot in the emoji eyes helmet is lovable.